Shalom. Okay, doing an indoor lesson here. Particular situations that Tuesday camp is going to be indoors. So, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to you.
Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Machakodash.
Alright, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Okay, so you know what, we'll deal with let's get Paul dealing with not wearing hats, man, because you got certain people, you know, the Corinthians, you know, certain people they're bucking up against the order of things, you know, because they want to do their own thing in this truth. But the truth, you have leaders set up, right, to make sure everything is in order, you know.
This is 1 Corinthians 11, verse 7. It says, "For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of Yahweh."
Right. Go ahead. So a man ought not to cover his head. This is the Apostle Paul speaking. Go ahead.
It says, "But the woman is the glory of the man."
So go ahead. Read that again.
This is 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 7 again. "For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, but the woman is the glory of the man."
Right. God, right. So the man is not. When you put a hat on your head, you're disrespecting Yahweh Shai, which is your head. Okay. And the woman is supposed to cover her head in order to respect her husband. Okay, that's the order of things. That's the order that was set up. And when you go into the ancient world, the Israelites didn't cover their full head. That wasn't a custom of the Israelites. That custom of covering your head came from the heathen. Okay? Go ahead. Slack it. Which that's what he's getting. I think you're going to Maccabees. Yeah. Well, that's what he's getting. Well, if you find it, whoever finds it first.
Jason.
Yeah, come on. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Second Maccabees.
We'll click on it. Let's go up a bit. On that. 4:12. Yeah. We'll go up a bit.
Second Maccabees 4 and 8. "Promising unto the king by intercession 303 square talents of silver and another revenue of 80 talents. Besides this, he promised to assign 150 more, if he might have license to set him up a place."
This is speaking of Jason. We'll go up a bit to see who is speaking of. Okay. Yeah, right there. Yes. Right after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Second Maccabees 4 and 7. "But after the death of Seleucus, when Antiochus, called Ephesus, took the kingdom, Jason, the brother of Onias, labored underhand to be a high priest, promising unto the king by intercession 303 square talents of silver."
Well, labor by underhand meaning what? He didn't come up the right way. You know, he tried to do it underhandedly by buying his way. Go ahead.
"And of another revenue 80 talents. Besides this, he promised to assign 150 more, if he might have license to set him up a place for exercise, and for the training up of the youth, in the fashion of the heathen, and to write them of Jerusalem by the name of Antiochians."
Which that was wicked, right? We know the place of exercise. What was that? They were working out naked. Okay, gymnos means naked. So these people are. Jason was a wicked individual. Okay, go ahead.
"Which when the king had granted, and he had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation to Greekish fashion, and the royal privilege granted of spatial favor to the Jews by means of John, the father of Hippolymus, who went ambassador to Rome for enmity and aid. He took away, and putting down the government, which he were according to the law, he brought up a new custom against the law. For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat.
So that's telling you it was against the law. Telling you right there it was against the law. It was against our customs, man. And if you to go into the ways of the heathen, that's against the law, man. Covering your head and things like that. Okay? The only one that was commanded to cover his head was Aaron, the high priest, man. Which you're not. Okay? You know, and that had a particular purpose. You see what I'm saying? But the men, the average men, they weren't covering their head. All right? Go ahead.
This is 1 Maccabees 1 and verse 11. In those days there went out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we had had much sorrow.
Right, and that's what Jason did. He made a covenant with the Greeks. Okay? Because basically he wanted to live a good life. He figured if he got in good with the Greeks, you know, they would give him, you know, benefits, and they wouldn't bother him like that. He wasn't willing to suffer for the Heavenly Father. He wanted to do his own thing. And that's why a lot of these guys, they don't pull out all of the truth. When the scriptures say, I've shunned not to declare unto you the whole gospel. You see, some of the gospel they don't want to pull out because some of the gospel is against the world, man.
This is Jeremiah 2 and verse 33. It says, why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love? Therefore hast thou also thought the wicked ones thy ways.
Right. Which a lot of the wickedness these heathens learn. They learn from Jake, man. Jake is the form of all things. That's in all ways. Jake, he'll do something wicked and he'll take it to the next level, man. Okay? You want to talk about being whores? Well, our women, all they know how to do is twerk. They twerking on cemetery stones. They twerking on people's vehicles. See, the Edomite woman, she don't know how to dance, so she don't, you know, but Jacob brings it to the whole nother level. Well, now you got Edomite women doing classes on how to twerk.
Yeah, Russians.
Not just Russia, all over Europe. But there's a whole bunch of classes all over Europe. So like it. A little bit more?
I got something else.
Okay, go ahead. You want to jump in?
Yeah, real quick.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 1 and 4. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord.
Well, hold on. Well, he corrupted the law. He corrupted the ways of the Israelites, man. The ways of Yahweh Shem El Shai. That's what Jason did, and that's what a lot of you guys are doing. That's what Alazar is doing. Okay, that's what Wi-Fi is. They're corrupting the ways of Yahweh Shem El Shai. Because there's an order in place. There's certain things that you are to do and certain things that you're not to do.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward.
Right, they're going backward. You know, when Jake would do certain things, oh, you brought us back 40 years, right?
Yeah.
When Jake would do certain things, well, a lot of these guys, the things that they're doing, they're bringing us back 5,000 years, going back to Egypt, man. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these guys, they're bringing us back to the Babylonian Empire, man. Because these are some of the things that were being done, man. Oh, well, they say that you can have sex on the Sabbath. How is that Israelite custom? That's madness. That's complete wickedness, man.
This is 2 Maccabees 6. We'll start at verse 1. It says, not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers, and not to live after the laws of the Most High, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius, and that in garrison of Jupiter the defenders of strangers, as they that desire to dwell in that place. The coming of...
Well, Jupiter, that goes back to Zeus. Okay, Zeus. Right?
It says the coming end of this mischief.
Which I believe, Salak, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Zeus is also represented as Apis the bull. If I'm not mistaken. And Apis the bull, which Serapis Crispus was a mixture of Apis the bull and I can't remember the other god there, but it was a mixture of Apis the bull and another god, Serapis Christus. That's where you get the modern day Jesus Christ image from. Or Horus. Horus. Yeah, that sounds right. Horus and Apis the bull, which he was mixing an Egyptian custom with a Greek custom, trying to appease to the Egyptian and the Greek culture. You see that? So this is where you got Serapis Christians. And guess what? You got Israelites today calling on who? Jesus Christ. That's crazy. It doesn't even sound right coming out their mouth, man. You see what I'm saying? It don't even sound right, man. But you got Israelites calling on this. So what are they doing? They're bringing us, first of all, they're bringing us backward. Okay? And they're profaning the temple of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. And we might as well call upon Jupiter.
Yeah.
You might as well call upon Jupiter, man. And Dionysus, man.
It says, verse 3, the coming end of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people. Revelings by the Gentiles who dallied with with harlots.
Yeah, so they were getting drunk, having a party in the temple, in the holy place now. So they drink, party strippers all over the place, man. Which we know a certain camp that did that on the Passover.
Yeah.
Not gonna say no names, but everyone knows who we're talking about, man. Go ahead.
It says who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy place, and besides that brought in things that were not lawful.
You see, which the elder Yahshua, he brought out, there's a difference between the temple harlots and regular harlots, right? Which those were considered the what? The temple harlots, man. One was up in the harlot in the temple having sex. Yo, there's a special judgment for those people, man. And those people are back to date, man. Okay, and some of these guys here, they're Israelites, man. Calling themselves Israelites, wearing the fringes, the t-shirt fringes. There was a little more.
Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, woolly, a right seed. How then art thou turned into the generate plant of the strange vine unto me?
Yeah, the Lord, he taught us the law statutes. He said that this is your wisdom amongst the nations. He taught it to us. He showed us the wisdom that we needed to know. What did Jake do? Jake said, no, we want to go into the ways of Balaam. We want to go into the ways of darkness. You see?
Isaiah 3 and 8. For Jerusalem
I was looking for Jeremiah 10.
Okay.
Jeremiah 10 and 1.
Jeremiah 10 and 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord spaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Now the ways of the heathen, that's the customs of the heathen. See, because we have our customs, all the heathen have their own customs. We can name some customs of the heathen. Dreadlocks, that goes back to the Elamites. We still got jakes. They're in Israel, right? They got fringes, they got borders of blue, and they got dreadlocks on their head. Nasty, filthy, and those things are nasty, man. Okay? And Jamaican rap, and when they cut that off, bro, there's all type of new species in there, man. Okay? The thing is nasty, and a lot of times you be passing by them, and it smells like a homeless person, man. Their hair smells like a homeless person's hair. But somehow they be getting all these women. Showing you these women got demons on them, man.
Demons on them.
And they're attracted to evil. Okay? But that's a custom of the heathen. Wearing hats, caps. That goes back to the Greeks. What else we got, brothers? Help me out, brother.
Smoking weed.
Smoking weed. That goes back to Elam. What else Jake's doing? What else Jake's doing? Witchcraft. Falling after the Canaanites.
The worship of women.
Oh yeah, the worship of women. You know?
Even the diet. The diet.
Yep.
Eating abomination.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Good.
Yep. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
It's vanity, man. It's vanity. When you put on a hat and your prop, it's vanity. Because first of all, the reason why you're doing this is to cover the bald spot you have. Your line, the line of your head is got a horseshoe going on, so you want to cover that up, right? Because you don't have a line up. You see, it all goes back to vanity. The reason why you want the dreads, why do you want the dreads? Oh, I'm a vow, but I'm doing the vow to Nazarite. You have no idea what the vow to Nazarite entails. Okay? Or else you wouldn't do that. First of all, we don't even know what half the ingredients are in these foods.
Yeah.
How the hell you going to do the vow to Nazarite?
Right.
And it's funny because you never see none of them. They all have the vow to Nazarite, but you never see none of them with their hair shaved, bald. Like, none of them ever broke it. They're all just perfect, you know? Like they can sense in the spirit. No, that touched there's some grapeseed oil that touched this. And the spirit told me.
If I may add real quick, because even Apostle Paul, he was keeping the vow of Nazarite. But when the Passover came, he did what? He shaved his head, shaved his eyebrows and everything, all the hair in his body. So, when the Passover comes, these guys that's proclaiming that they're under the vow of Nazarite, really, when the Passover comes, you're supposed to shave off everything, man.
Yeah.
Which we see these guys are not doing.
Right. And the thing too is that the vow of the Nazarite, they're coming into the truth with long hair, like the elder apostle Gabar said. They're coming into the truth with, I think it was the elder apostle Gabar or the elder apostle Ralph said it. One of the other apostles said it. They're coming in with long hair, and then they keep the long hair. So you were in the Christian church with the vow of the Nazarite. You were doing the vow of the Nazarite in the Christian church, smoking weed. I'm supposed to believe this. So he's showing you it's all vanity, man. Got that, bro?
This is the book of Acts chapter 18 and verse 18. And Paul, after this tarried there yet a good while, and then took his leave of the brethren, and sailed thence into Syria, and with him Priscilla and Aquila, having shorn his head in Kentria, for he had a vow.
Right, so he shaved his head bald. Okay? It's like a representation of like a new beginning, so to speak, if you will. You gotta shave your head off, man, if you break it. Okay?
Because also you gotta drink the yayan on the Passover. You can't just drink what's it called, honey yayan, or you have to drink the blood of the grapes.
Right. And ultimately, the scriptures speak about the blood of the grapes with the Nazarite vow, but it also speaks about strong drink. In other words, you're supposed to be staying away from alcohol in general. Really. That's really what it entails. Like, you know what I mean? So you're trying to go under the system. You got something?
Yeah, concerning to the vow of the Nazarite.
All right.
This is Numbers chapter 6 and verse 18. And the Nazarite shall shave the head of his separation at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall take the hair of the head of his separation and put it in the fire which is under the sacrifice of the peace offerings.
And you gotta supposed to burn the hair and all that. Okay? There's more on that?
Yeah, one more piece.
Go ahead, man.
All right, it says, verse 19, and the priest shall take the sodden shoulder of the ram and one unleavened cake out of the basket.
No, but I don't want to deal with that. I want to go up more. Go up dealing with like the stipulations.
Okay.
Verse 2.
This is the book of Numbers chapter 6 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the sons of Israel, and say unto them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite.
So I want to say this too. The vow of the Nazarite is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. The Lord will start dealing with you on a level. What do you think? Look at Paul, man. The Lord was dealing with Paul. Like he was on a level, but the thing is that the vow of the Nazarite, it brings you closer to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The closer Yahweh Shem Yahushai is to you, the better off you are. I'll say that. But in this day and age, it's not convenient. You'll do that, and in the next 5 days, you have to have your hair shaven because there's so much crap going on in this earth. And you breaking a vow unknowingly. And the scripture said it's better that you vow not than thou shouldest vow and not pay. Go ahead, man.
Jump in real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
This is 2 Corinthians 6 and verse 17. It says, Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Just like the law is going into, it's a law of separation for you to become holy so that the Lord accepts you. The brother was saying it's a beautiful vow because you're coming closer to Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
That's right. That's right.
It says, when either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Lord, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink.
What's that about? Wine and strong drink. Why? Because you're supposed to stay away from alcohol. That's what it entails. He could have just said, if it was in the modern day English, don't drink alcohol. Nor wine, nor this, no alcohol, period. Go ahead.
And shall drink no vinegar of wine, or vinegar of strong drink, neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist.
Now, vinegar. You know how much things are cooked with vinegar?
Yeah.
You know how much vinegar, apple cider, this vinegar, that vinegar?
Yeah.
You don't know what's in the food. And you tell me you don't go out and eat?
Right.
Tell me you don't go to restaurants?
Ketchup.
Yo, ketchup.
Oh.
Just eating them dry fries.
Right.
Nah, I gotta put mayonnaise. Alright, bro. Go ahead.
It says, or vinegar of strong drink, neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dried. All the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk.
Come on, bro. That's too much. Nothing out of the vine. In this day and age, we don't even know what the fuck we eating, bro.
Right.
We don't even know.
That's
What,
true.
man?
Jump in Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with the sword destruction.
Right. Get Ezekiel the 4th chapter. That's quiet. Okay. What you got, bro?
I was there, so
You're Ezekiel 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's there already, brother. Go ahead. Finish that up.
All right. Verse 5, all the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled, in the which he separate himself unto Yahweh. Bashim Yahushai. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow. All the days that he separate himself unto the Lord, he shall come at no dead body. He shall not make himself unclean for his father, or for his mother, for his brother.
And you guys never been at funerals?
No.
You never want to know if your auntie died, your father died? No, I'm under the vow of the Nazarite. Okay. Go ahead.
Or for his sister when they die, because the consecration of his power is upon his head.
Because you know why they won't do that? Because they would be hated by their family.
Yeah.
They're not willing to be hated, man. Because that leads to hatred, bro. Okay? If you just don't talk to your family for a certain amount of time, they look at you, yo, you don't call me, you don't say nothing. You know? You don't show up to no functions. Go ahead. Oh, okay, that was it on that. You want to jump in?
Let it real.
Real quick. Okay, we're gonna start. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Read yours first. Then we're
First
gonna go to you.
Corinthians.
Then we're gonna go to you.
1 Corinthians 10 and 23.
Gotta process everything for you. I gotta process everything. Go ahead.
All things are lawful for me, but not all things are expedient. All things are lawful for me, but not all things but all things edify not. So like the brother said, is in this day and age to go into a Nazarite vow, it's not really edifying. You might as well just do it fast, you know? Because at this point, man, you know, like the brother said, you don't know what you're eating, man. You know, you don't know what's going into your body. Right? This earth this is not a rest; it's polluted. You know, so you might as well do it fast to be better off. You know, than to vow the Nazarite.
All right. What does the word edifying mean? I know what the word edifying means? To build, right? It doesn't build you up like necessarily, right? Because it's a hard thing. You know, it's a hard thing to do. It's like we went into some examples of things that you can't do under the Nazarite vow. So a lot of the guys saying that they're just vain. They just want to keep their long hair. They're using that as an excuse. Oh, get me what Paul said about long hair. Okay. Salaki, go ahead, Shaquat.
That's like I wrote the topics down.
It's gone already?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 4 and verse. I'm gonna start verse 12. And thou shalt eat.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, Salakia. Ezekiel 4 and verse 12 it says, and thou shalt eat it as a barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that come out of men and their sight.
I'm going to the point.
Verse 13, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them.
Right, because we're scattered among the heathen, and we're scattered amongst the worst of the heathen, okay, which are the Edomites. And what do you think is in the food? The food is all defiled, man. Now they're taking out certain proteins out of the these different bodybuilder whey proteins. They're taking out a protein they used to use, and they're using cricket protein. But don't worry, they got maggot protein prepared too. They got maggot, they got cockroach. Okay, so they got all kinds of proteins for you, man. And they don't have to tell you. They ain't gonna just write. you know, the serpent is not just gonna write, this is cockroach protein. Cockroach legs. No, it's gonna say some name that you don't even know how to pronounce. Xenophobes. What's this? You gotta look it up. You see? So this is how the devil operates. So you don't know what the hell you're eating, man. And like I said, prove to me you're not going. Tell me that you're not going out to eat in restaurants, but you're going to the club though, right? You're going to the club. You're ordering a bottle. Ciroc. Wait a minute, what's that made from? Grapes. Ciroc is made from grapes. That's vodka made from grapes. Jake probably don't even know that, bro. It says peach flavor.
There's no peach in it.
Right. Not one peach in there, bro.
Real quick, go ahead. This is Mark 16 and verse 18. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them.
That's it. If they dish any deadly thing, right? So, well, hold on. Salaki, what's your point on that?
Salaki, I got the wrong precept, bro.
Okay. I'm about to go break it down. What's the point? I was like, Khan. How was shy? What? Go ahead, man. No, I guess go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to add real quick. There's been a precept where it says, "Thou shalt drink poison and live."
So I'm looking for it.
Oh. Salaki. You know, it says, "Thou shalt find each shall like drink poison and live." Like the brother was saying, we don't know what we're eating right now, man. You know, you go to the majority of ingredients and certain foods, there's gelatin within it. What's gelatin? That's pork, man. You know, Esau puts pork in everything. Man. You think you're eating a protein bar, you go in the back of the protein bar, there's gelatin in it, man.
Right.
You know? And that's Esau ultimately, you know, trying to bring the nation of Israel down. Because if we do these unlawful deeds, the Lord is not going to be looking at us, man. You know, that's the plot that Esau has taken, you know, to make us become low as a people. You know?
That's right. And no, it's so true today even more than ever. You see all them things, the trailer being the train being derailed and all that smoke going up. What do you think them people are drinking? Right, they're drinking poison. You got brothers out there in Ohio, man. You know, so brothers should be send out prayers for those brothers up there in Ohio, man. Okay, because they're living in that's a hard thing to deal with. And I made a statement like, yo, bro, I wouldn't be there, you know what I mean, if they said that I would fly out. But guess what? A lot of people don't have the means to do that. I said it, but a lot of people, the truth is, a lot of people don't have the means. I kind of went off because a lot of people don't have the means to dip. A lot of people that don't got nowhere to go. Okay? You see? But the ones that do, that are in the world, you know, it's common sense, you know what I mean? To get out of Dodge. You see, but a lot of people don't have the means to do so. See, Jake is in poverty, man. A lot of them Edomite, that's a poor Edomite place. Them people are in poverty. They'll go stay in a hotel, we'll reimburse you. So how are we gonna pay for it to stay there in the first place? Reimburse, I don't have the money to start. You understand? But now what are they doing? They're drinking all those chemicals and, you know, they're taking, even if they're not drinking it, they're taking showers. Yeah. Right? So it's still going into you. And recently we just seen, I just shared a video of a chemical plant, which they said it was a butane, I believe it was butane. Matter of fact, we're going to get the article too. In Montreal, man. Right here in Montreal, Canada. There's a particular plant that was on fire. And you seen the smoke was black. I ain't never seen no smoke like that, bro. Sure. Okay? So Esau's, there's a war. There's a chemical warfare going on. So this thing of us drinking poison and live, this is we're here.
That's right. Yes, let me, that was actually the correct precept.
Oh, you got it?
It was the deadly thing. I'm reading it again. It's Mark 16 and 18. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, that's the poison that we're actually eating, and it shall not hurt them. Like we're going into, we're actually eating poison. Okay? They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover.
Right. Yeah, miracles are coming. See, miracles have to, the Lord has to lift up a standard. There ain't no way we can get through this without the Lord lifting up a standard. There's too much shit happening, man. Too much shit going on, bro. All right? We don't know what the fuck, what's in the, no, he might have some super chemtrails coming down now. We don't know. Go ahead, bro. Show that video to the camera, bro. And get an article. You got a piece of it. So get an article. Get an article about the fire in Montreal, the refinery plant in Montreal burning. Refinery plant in Montreal burning. Okay, so you see that, brothers? That's the plant that was burning in MTL, man. That's the plant that was burning in Montreal, man. Okay, right here. So this is not just happening in Babylon. This is happening all around, man. Okay, Esau's he's at war. And click on the other one. The other one I shared. There's another one, Ontario, where they're showing the ground and it was all rainbow colored. Yeah. Every now and then when it rains, you might see a rainbow thing in the ground, but not like that. This is ridiculous. That is clearly chemicals, man. It's kind of Montreal fire department. Kind of fire. Not planned, brother. Planned. So like. So that's what it is, and I'm gonna read the article. It's all good, brother. You get the point. Fiery.
You got a precept?
Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So except the Lord, hasten the day. Okay, no flesh is gonna, remain alive, man. Because this devil, Esau, Edom, is the harbinger of death, man. Okay, the son of perdition. Okay?
That's right.
He's looking to kill everybody, man, even himself. It says, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? The chemtrails, they don't only affect, though his eyes are set upon Israel, they don't only affect Israelites, but it affects everybody, man. Including his own people.
So this is you got something to say?
Yeah, real quick. What's it called? The Apostle Gabar, he made a lesson. He brought up the word, I think it was calling, and then it's basically it goes into selective deletion. Which that's what Esau's trying to do. He's trying to delete. The people that don't matter. How you say useless eaters, like he says. Because that's what Esau's trying to do, man. Who do you think he's really targeting, man? He's targeting the Israelites, man.
That's right. The Israelites and some of his people too. Esau don't give a shit about. There's certain of his people he looks at as useless eaters too. Most of them, except for the elites. So Esau just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. But especially Jake. This is the article. Okay, it says early morning fire at refinery plant under investigation. Okay, it says crews were on the scene of a fire Sunday morning in Montreal East. So this was in the east of Montreal. A bitumen tank. Okay, I want you guys to look up the word bitumen because this is the particular chemical that's in this thing. bitumen. Okay, a bitumen tank. Type in bitumen chemical. A bitumen tank reportedly caught fire at a business on Sherbrooke Street and Broadway Avenue. Okay, it says the fire was at the refinery plant of production company Bitumen. Okay, and it says Montreal's fire department warned residents around 7 a.m. to avoid the area. And why do you think they tell them to avoid the area? Because it's toxic.
Yeah.
And it's in the air. And it was a dark, and you brother said, I just showed the video, the brother showed the video, it was a dark plume. The same thing, it looked the same as what was happening out there in Ohio. Okay, which is actually what happened in the Ohio is in that movie White Noise. See? So this devil is at work, man. You got something, bro?
You got it, Shakur?
There's a lot. Yeah, that's right. You got that?
God, this is bitumen, a black viscous mixture of hydrocarbons obtained naturally or as a residue from petroleum distillation. It is used for road surfacing and roofing.
See that? They paved the roads.
Yep.
You know that smell, you can smell it. It's
far.
Yeah, it's a distinguished smell, you know.
Uh-huh.
You can't stay too long smelling that.
Word.
Yeah, it says here in Google, how toxic is bitumen? In the long term, bitumen exposure can cause lung and stomach cancer, pigment changes in the skin, bronchitis.
The water, brother. Read that again.
How toxic is bitumen? In the long term, bitumen exposure can cause lung and stomach cancer, pigment changes in the skin, bronchitis, and emphysema. Emphysema. In condition, bitumen additives may cause damage to the liver, kidney, and nervous system. When hot, bitumen releases hydrogen sulfide gas into the air. Suffocation and even death may occur.
You see that? So all the list the brother just mentioned. Okay, bronchitis, the skin pigmentation changes. All right. So this devil will stop at nothing to accomplish his agenda, and his agenda is really part of the Heavenly Father's plan for judgment, man. And there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna go missing and is gonna disappear from the earth, like Thanos. You remember Thanos? A lot of people are just gonna disappear off the earth, man. As a matter of fact, get me 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, brother. Okay. Go ahead.
Let me say real quick. I think it says something about the skin, because in Hawaii, there's certain people that's taking showers now. They're getting rashes on their skin. You know, just backing up the poison there that Esau is using, man. You know?
Right.
This is Revelation 11 and verse 18. It says, "In the nation."
What?
It says Revelation 11 and verse 18.
Read.
It says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto the servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, great, small, and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth."
And who's destroying the earth? The Edomite, the devil. Oh, is this the man who made the world a wilderness? Yeah. What is he doing? He's making the world a wilderness. Listen, when he gets rid of a lot of people, guess what? Guess what? The places where it's not inhabited are going to turn into a wilderness. Right? The cities are basically going to turn into a wilderness. It says that the olive tree is going to grow out of control. Read that.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 24. "There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripe, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice."
Man is going to be so rare in that time. First of all, you're going to have men that's gone to war, then you're going to have a whole bunch of people that's just dead. Because all this shit this devil has out here, man. He got plagues, and then he got toxins, and then he's gonna have the foods. He's gonna defile the foods even more than it's defiled now. Talking about fake eggs, right? And then people are not gonna be able to get food. So what are they gonna be doing? Killing one another? Whoa! Get Revelation 6th chapter.
It says, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of rocks. As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. But when as a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard.
Yeah. It's like when according to our law we have to leave a certain amount of fruit outside on the outskirts of our field. Okay, but that was not the abundance of the field. So think about the people today as the whole field being full of fruit. So when the time's to come, it's going to be like just the edge of the field. These elites are going to get, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, they're going to get rid of a lot of people on this earth, man. Talking about billions of people will perish, man. See, they don't get it, man. Just that one earthquake took out down there, the numbers going up. Okay? Towards 100,000. One shot. What, bro?
Even so, in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword, and the earth shall laid waste, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travail therethrough.
What's that? A wilderness? What's that? A wilderness? This is the man who made the. Listen, a lot of things we haven't get to that point now, but we're gonna see what the Esau's end and what he really, the beast has grown to be. Go ahead, man. There's a little bit more on that, bro.
It says the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms.
Right.
The woman shall mourn, having no husband.
See, them women are they're gonna be looking for men, man.
Right.
They're not gonna know what to do. Okay, they're not gonna know what to do. Go ahead.
Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine.
That's it. That's it. Salaki. So, Salaki, go ahead, bro. Read that.
Revelation 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
We'll break it down, brother.
So basically Esau is gonna pull out every weapon, you know, and like the brothers went into the chemicals and stuff. That's a part of his arsenal, you know. And soon he's gonna even get to the point where he's gonna use food, the famine, as a weapon, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Food as a weapon. That's absolutely what he's doing. Absolutely. And the elder Corey Kwame re-uploaded something that he did, like when he went to the museum years ago with another brother or a couple other brothers, and that was very, very edifying. I mean, that was showing you what was happening in World War II. You know, I might have to do a video on that. And in World War II, they had these rationing cards. And matter of fact, let's look up an article on World War II. Look up rationing cards in World War II, because this is what's coming now. But now it's not going to be a card. Okay? What they're getting ready to do, it might start off on your phone, whatever, digital ID, but we know it's going right to this, to the right hand or the forehead to these people, man.
That's right.
Okay? And let me know once you have something on that. Go ahead, bro.
I got it. The rationing.
Oh, you got it. Oh, beautiful, brother.
It's a ration stamp. A ration stamp, ration coupon, or a ration card is a stamp or card issued by a government to allow the holder to obtain food or other commodities.
Right, so it's going to go from that stamp to an actual imprinted mark, right? Which is really the charagma, okay? Which is not really imprint, it's really an incision. Okay, go ahead.
It says, or other commodities that are in short supply during wartime.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to read that again.
Okay, yeah, read that again. I didn't realize what you said. Go ahead.
A stamp or card issued by government to allow the holder to obtain food or other commodities that are short in supply during wartime.
Food shortages. Is that not the main topic right now? Oh, the egg shortage, this shortage, chicken shortage. Right? Even Cat Williams, he was making it to Cat Williams. I mean, he's my second favorite. He's right there by Dave Chappelle. But ultimately, he said what? He said they tell you all kind of crazy stuff, right? And he said they even telling you that there's a thigh. What did he say? There's a wing shortage, right? And I said I'm not no mathematician, right? I'm not no scientist, but if you got all these wing shortages, but they telling you they got thighs. Now, how do you have thighs and you don't have what? Chicken got wings. I know what a chicken looks like. It got wings and it got thighs, right? So he's saying this is madness. But they're just coming with these different predictive programs to make you know, listen, man, these things are coming, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says that are short in supply during wartime or in any other emergency situations when rationing is enforced. It says ration stamps were widely used during World War II by both sides after hostilities caused interruption to normal supply of goods. That's pretty much the point.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So ultimately, but there's more on there. There was Find something else that shows into what they were allowed to do, what they weren't allowed to do, because there was things they weren't allowed to get food without that. You know, they weren't allowed to get food without that. You know, Salakia. Who had a precept? You had a precept, right? Read that.
Right, this is Revelation chapter 6 and verse 8. And I looked and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death.
That's right. Oh, that's what the brother had. It's the spirit. Go ahead.
And hell followed with him, and power was given unto them.
Matter of fact, go up to 4. Go up to 4.
This is Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
And that's what Esau is doing. Everything he's doing, he's taking peace from the earth, one event at a time.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say.
And you're going to see that to get to its height in the times to come to kill one another. Oh yeah. All these people that you thought was tender duckers, these guys that was getting bullied in school, they're going to be mass murderers in the time to come, man. For what? For food, supplies. Okay? Get to that point, man. You might have a damn a nail clipper or a lamp, and you might get might put people to death for that, for lamps, batteries.
So it says, friends shall fight against friends like enemies. Is that what you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. That's it. No, keep reading.
Right.
Yeah, jump in.
Oh, you want to jump in? Go ahead.
2nd Ezra 15 and 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and shall spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Yeah. Lack of bread is going to be a game changer. Like it said when there's a shortage, they were able to get it only if they had those coupons. They had those particular tickets. So unless you have the C hit, you're not going to be able to get what you want to get. Go ahead.
All right, verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for
which the balances represent the judgment. Okay, read that again.
All right, verse 5, Revelation 6 and 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see, thou heard not the oil and the wine.
That's it. The oil and the wine represent this truth. Okay, the measure of wheat for a penny, that represents a day's wages. Back in the Roman Empire, the denarius, okay, which is a day's wages, can only get a measure of wheat is just basically a meal. It can barely sustain a man, right, for your whole day's work. So, in other words, inflation is about to be off the chain. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
That's it, man. So the Lord, I set up upon them 4 kinds.
Yeah.
There's gonna be mass death in the time to come. Go ahead, read that.
The apostle was going into how the fourth part of the earth is actually referring to America.
Yep. That's right.
Lamentation 4:9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For they spine away stricken through for want of fruit of the field.
Right, exactly. So it's better to die from the sword than die from hunger. Read that.
This is Ezekiel 4 and verse 16. It says, Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water.
See this water bottle? See it's about half full. They're gonna share this between a family, and you're only gonna have to get a sip per day. This is the type of scenario these people are gonna be in, man. Okay? And if they catch somebody trying to sneak at night taking a sip, they might just do away with that person, man. Okay? People don't know what it's like to go through famine or go through major thirst. And when you fast for a certain amount of time and then you try to eat, it feels like you're swallowing nails, man.
It says, and with care, and they shall drink water by measure, and with astonishment.
I'm talking about when you fasted for like 3+ days. You start, with no food and water, you're going to feel like nails sometimes. Go ahead.
It says, and they shall drink water by measure, and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water, and be astonished one with another, and consume away for their iniquity.
Yeah. They're gonna consume away, man, and it's for their iniquity, because they weren't following Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They wanted to go with their own program.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. Got something? Okay, go ahead. I want you to read it. No? Okay, go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 15 and verse 2. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then shalt thou tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, the dogs to tear, and the fowls of heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy.
That's it. That's that poly crisis right there. Okay. Go ahead, bro.
All right, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 5, and verse 16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread.
Yeah.
So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I the Lord, have spoken.
That's it, man. So this is what's coming to these people, man. Okay, this is what's coming to these people that don't want to turn to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Get me Ezekiel 9 and 4. Yeah, go get it. All right? Because these people are about to get caught up, man. What you got, bro?
This is Ezekiel 7, verse 15. It says, the sword is without, and the pestilence and famine within.
I was thinking about that before, yeah.
It says, he that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him.
The city's going to be the worst place to be, but you go out to the field, you don't know who you're going to encounter.
That's right.
Right? Especially in Babylon, because them dudes got gun galore. You got the Edomites, all they do is train. They got targets looking like chicks with their hat backwards. Okay? So you can't, and you're going to see how much these Edomites love you when the time comes. You're going to see how much love they have for you, man. When shit gets real, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. And you jakes that are in that spirit of, we all brothers in Christ. We're going to see, man. Okay? Because those Edomites are going to have no problem killing you, especially when it's legal, man. Or they're going to have fun. They're not going to have fun, but they're going to kill you for free. Oh, so like, who's reading?
That was
more of that?
That was it.
Okay. Go ahead, bro.
2nd Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of
Because
sorrows.
these cops already shoot you already. Oh, you pull out a Twinkie or a sandwich. Oh, you thought it was a gun. And then they brag about it. And then there's other Edomites that send them gifts. Right? Send them donations. So them Edomites already hate you. And they already have no problem killing you. So how much more when it's lawlessness, man? Go ahead, bro.
2nd Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning. The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as a scourge for amendment.
That's it. And a scourge for amendment to the wicked. Read that, Ezekiel.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9 and verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Right. So the men that sign that cry, that's us. Okay, we're out here complaining and sighing and crying against the wickedness being done in this place, man, constantly, man. Go ahead. And this is why we want to see this place destroyed. This is why we want Esau to press the button. Someone who's living a good life and then, they got all the riches you could want, and they're just living their best life, driving a Mercedes, the newest years of the Mercedes, and this and that. They got a property here, property there, businesses here, all kind of women. They're not looking to see Esau press the button. They don't want Esau to press the button. They want to keep going, man. And there's a lot of Israelites that are living that life, and they really want this place to keep going. That's why they're talking about, you don't see the big picture. What big picture are you talking about? The scriptures have the big picture. We don't. What are you talking about? You're talking about some other thing. Okay, your mind is so myopic. And what this guy is doing, he's trying to be like a Hebrew Israelite Farrakhan, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, trying to speak with all them smooth words, and the telepathy of your cerebral cortex is not developed.
That's deep.
Infantile. But hold on, he learned from the apostles. But these type of words, I try to make sure I didn't do the freeze that he does. He napashes the devil, you see. But ultimately, the GMS worship of Satan. There's madness. These people do, man. Okay, but ultimately, that's all the seducing spirits, man.
Yeah.
To seduce you, and you'll listen to that. You'll be like, whoa. And you see the guy in the back. That's it. That's right. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. He doesn't know what's happening. All right, but that's how it works. Because Farrakhan, I remember I used to listen to Farrakhan in the world, and he was captivated, man.
He was.
Right? And what did he do with his voice? He used to go, and then he'll come back down.
Yeah.
So it brings. That's a tactic of speakers to capture the audience, man.
You got something real quick?
Go ahead, bro.
This is Romans 16 and verse 18. For they that are such serve not the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the heart of the simple.
Right, deceive the heart of the simple. That's it. I was just thinking about his interview with that guy Wallace. Farrakhan, his interview, and he said something about, Africa's the most corrupt place in the earth. Which that devil, that monkey. And he said, you have no right to speak against us. Let us deal with our people. And you could go to jail. So you have some nerve. But I digress. Then he just calmed. You should be ashamed. And then he just calmed down. They got your heart pumping, But it was heavy, but you can speak, you get you roused up, man. But you got Israelites trying to do this thing. But I mean, you could speak if you want to speak like that, and that's all cool. But he's doing that, but he's not saying nothing. It's a lot. More on that?
No, that was it.
Okay. You have something?
Just to tie that up about these guys loving the world. This is 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. These people having possessions in this world. 1 John 2 and 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world.
That's it. Well, can a brother get that in the NIVs just to see what it says? The NLT, Baba Kushan.
Verse 17. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh Yahushai abideth forever.
John 2:15.
All right.
No.
First John chapter 2.
What are you reading?
1 John 2:15.
1 John 2:15. Okay, read that. 1 John 2:15.
1 John 2:15.
Con. You get that in the NLT. What are you holding? Were you holding what I asked for?
Yeah.
Okay, let's read this first.
Okay. 1 John 2:15, it says, "Do not love the world nor the things it offers you. For when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. For the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions.
Pride in our achievements. A lot of these guys, they got pride in their achievement. You know? Al-Azhar, he most likely has pride in the fact that he made it to no jumper. You know, the interview, you know?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? To them, that's something to be proud of. You see what I'm saying? You know, the lust of the flesh to be praised and lauded by men rather than to take the low. Because every man wants to be, you know, be appreciated.
Right.
You know what I mean? Inside of yourself, that's a fact. You know, but you have to suppress those things in order, because we know that Yahweh Shai has to get the glory first.
That's right.
That's right.
We have to just wait. You know, we have to wait. We gotta wait, man.
Yes, I mean, you know, right now is not the time for us to get glorified. You know, it's when Yahweh Shai comes, like the brother was saying, that's when we're gonna get glorified, man. Yahweh Shai has to be the first one to get glorified. But these guys, you know, the scriptures say, it's them that receive their consolation in this life, man. You know, that's why it's so hard for them to let go, you know, of the possessions that they have or the status that they have in the world, man. You know, because they have received their consolation, man. But we know what? We have to take the low in the low, man. You know, then after that, we're going to be exalted, man. You know, scriptures speak about how you're going to get fame in the lands where you're put to shame, man. You know, so it doesn't matter, you know, you got the no jumper or whatever. Okay, cool, man. You know, by the end of the day, really the true men of the Lord are going to be exalted in the last days, man.
Right. And either way, it's gonna happen anyway. He said, "I shall give you fame and praise and fame in the land that you were put to shame." But this is not what we're looking for. You see, it's not easy to get shamed and things of that nature. But I'd rather be uplifted by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai than to be uplifted through vanity, because really it's all bullshit. A man can love you one day and praise you, and then call you a nigga on a couch or the infantile. Okay, the next day, and myopic and all these big, we call you all these names, but before that, you was the top. Oh, you taught me everything. So that's all vanity, man. And these guys, how much of these celebrities, they got all this praise and fame, and then they might have said something. Yo, I burned all his CDs.
Yeah, right. You see that?
Well, you were the best way. Well, weren't you the biggest fan? Don't you have some understanding? No. I saw what it said in TMZ.
Yeah.
So it's showing you it's all bullshit.
Yeah. It's not true love.
It's not true love.
You know? I have some before that. It says they seek a corruptible crown,
Right.
but we an incorruptible.
Right.
Because ultimately, what is coming after is eternal life, not no temporary 500-year kingdom. No, it says for an eternal kingdom that the Yahweh is going to bring upon earth.
And eternal glory.
Eternal glory. Right?
That's forever. That's not a thing where it's like, yo, and then you do something, and then it's yo, see, he was written in the book of life, but really he wasn't right.
No, yeah. No.
You gonna get the praise, and when the Lord exalts somebody, He really exalts them. Go ahead, bro.
That's the type.
So, no, but you have something to tie up too, right?
This is Romans chapter 8 and 24. For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why does he have hope for? They already see everything that the joy of this life, the lucre, the false fame. They see it, so they don't need anything. But we don't see it, but we hope for it. But we know it's coming. Therefore, we are saved by hope.
Or they receive their consolation.
Their consolation.
You know, and I'm telling you, these other they're making a lot of money, man.
Yeah,
the ones that are doing it, they're making a whole lot of bread. Don't get it twisted, man. Don't think they're working at Popeyes, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting bread, bro.
They have the precept packages. They charge for the precept packages. And they gotta get their own garment, the garment of the camp. They can get your own. That's a lot of lucre. That's a lot of bacon.
The shirts.
Mm-hmm.
You got brothers in Sakari, got the gorilla shirt. Like, why do you have another man's name under? Why? You brothers wear the we got the Tahar, the bar shirt. The boss, what the fuck is wrong? What's up with that? What's up with that, man? It's Amwas, you got a shirt. Amwas. Why?
Why?
You can get a shirt, get y'all by Shimmy Y'all Shine shirt. You know what I mean? This is just weird. Go ahead, man.
Titus 1 and verse 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers, and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake.
Yeah, for filthy lucre's sake, for that bread. You know, for that bread, man. Okay. It's not for but anyways, read it. You got something to say?
Yeah, because the scriptures say what's called buy the truth and sell it not, roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah, that's it.
So when you get the truth, man, you're not supposed to go out there, $10.99 for this preset package, how to break down Revelation this. No, man, you're supposed to give it freely, man.
Freely ever receive, freely give.
Yeah. You're not supposed to sell the truth, man. But these guys, they're looking for money, man. They're trying to make the truth as a business, man.
Join my Patreon.
And then when it goes into the parable of the talents to water, it says the Lord gave them those talents. You didn't acquire this by your own means. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua gave you those talents. And He's expecting you to, to do some flip.
Yeah. Said for fruit.
Bring forth fruit, yeah, so you can bring forth fruit. Okay.
Yeah, well, this is, where your heart is, there where your mind is, there where your heart. How does it go? Where your treasure is, there where your heart be also. Their treasure is in those things, man. You see what I'm saying? And that's why that's their main concern. Their main concern is not teaching the right doctrine, although the scripture says, take heed unto the doctrine. Right? So the doctrine is very important, but they don't care because their mind is on something else. They have another. They have their own agenda. Which I got that quote from the other apostle Gabar, man. Okay.
Go ahead. This is John 12 and verse. I'm gonna start at 42. It says, "Nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed on him, but because of the Pharisees they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue.
Yes.
For they love the praise of men more than the praise of Yahweh Bashem.
You can see these guys love the praise of men. You can see Bishop Nathaniel, when he sits up on the podium, he sits high. What does that mean, man? Right? You can tell that he loves the praise of men, man. It kind of sounded like it, right? It's a lot here, but yeah, you can see he loves the praise of men, man. All right, go ahead, bro. And they're gonna all be put to shame. That's the funny part. They're all exalted now, but the Lord is gonna bring them right down and bring up His men. That's the thing about it, and that's what did Gamaliel said? He said, "If this be of men, it shall come to naught." Yeah. But if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it unless you be happy to fight against the Most High. You can't overthrow the things that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua set up. And that's where I want to be. I want to be someone that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua set up in place. Okay. So that it can't be taken down. You see what I'm saying? And trust me, these guys are going to be put to shame for the madness that they're teaching, man. And the pride that they're upholding, man. Got something?
Job 12:16. With him is the strength and wisdom. The deceive and the deceiver are his.
That's it. They're definitely being deceived by these guys.
1 Timothy 6:4. He is proud, knowing nothing, but doubting about questions and strife of words. Wherefore cometh envy, strife, railing, evil sermons, perverse disputes.
Okay, hold on. Now you got to read that slow. Matter of fact, you might want to get that in the NLT. Okay, ring about doubting. Okay, because the thing is that when they speak, it's all about putting doubt in your. See, they're not coming up against the MOTB and breaking it down deep and interpreting it deep. See, the mark, the Quran really means spiritual, because when you look into this word, you go here, it's a spiritual thing, and they're not going deep into that. Yeah. What they're going deep into is making people disbelieve what we're saying.
That's right.
Oh, well, if that, then why this? Then why that? Then how's he going to chip 1 billion people? Where he going to get 1 billion chips from?
Yeah, surgery.
And we did that, and that. And it's, yeah, you did surgery ahead. See, so they're just sending out doubt to the people to deter them from the truth. Instead, they're not breaking down anything. Yeah. But why fight a 5-hour lesson? Why do you need a 5-hour lesson for that? You do not need a 5-hour lesson for that. That's mumbo jumbo, man. And then when they got to the point where they're supposed to get to, they built up the 5 hours to that point, and then they just kind of gloss through it with a bunch of questions, and they didn't really break it down. Go ahead.
1 Timothy 6:3. Some people may contradict our teachings, but these are the wholesome teachings of the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. These teachings promote a godly life. Anyone who teaches something different is arrogant and lacks understanding. Such person has an unhealthy desire to gibble over the meaning of words. This stirs up arguments ending in jealousy, division, slander, and evil suspicions. These people always cause trouble. Their minds are corrupt, and they have turned their backs on the truth.
You said evil suspicions.
Evil suspicions, yeah.
Right. So they, well, then why this and why that and this and that? Oh yeah, well, if it's saying that, then why this? They're just throwing up, having people to question things, right? Which is not wrong with question, but they're basically trying to sow the seed of doubt without giving them a solution. Like the 12 tribes sign. Oh, we don't believe in the 12 tribes, but they don't have their own 12 tribes. You see, so they just want you to be suspicious about these things, but then they don't have the breakdown. Go ahead.
Reverse psychology.
I think that's gaslighting or something like that. Gaslighting.
Yeah. You can see. Yep, that's gaslighting. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
And so he says, their minds are corrupt, and they have turned their backs on the truth.
Which it is reverse psychology too. It's kind of like, but then they're not giving a solution. So it's like they're not entering into the kingdom of heaven, and they're stopping others from entering.
Right. So man, that's a lot of blood on their hands, man. Ezekiel 3 speaks about if you don't want the wicked, the blood's gonna be quite on your hand, man. That's a lot of blood in your hands, man. You're supposed to warn the sheep and actually tell them the proper breakdown, man. But these guys, they're glossing over it. They're not saying the proper breakdown, man. So at the end of the day, man, when judgment comes, man, hey, the Lord's gonna come for you, man.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have a lot of blood on their hands, because if they're not stable in the mind, if they're not preparing their mind, they're just gonna falter in that time, man. Your mind has to be dead set on Yahweh Shem Yahushai in order for you to resist, right? And choose beheading instead of the sea hip. Your mind got to be really steadfast and stable in this truth. And these guys are not stable. When we examine these other camps, they're not stable, man. Okay? Give it the example. And the guy might be watching right now. There was a particular guy came to the camp, he was watching Sakari, did not know a simple question pertaining to the scriptures. Simple question. And then he damn near almost made a vow, I'll be back every week, and we've never seen the dude since. So that shows you their mind is not right. And his thing, we're going into these deep lessons, deep topics, and and you might have seen that. I didn't even notice, but you might have saw the Jake with an Edomite woman. Oh, we not getting on Jake's with Edomite women? Bro, sit down and we're talking about something important. We don't got no time to be watching whose man holding hands with, bro. Okay? But you see, it shows you where their mind is, and their mind is not going to be, like I said, their mind is not going to be stable in that time.
Carnality, stuck on carnality.
Just finish this. To them, a show of godliness is just a way to become wealthy.
And then it's Salaki, brother. It's Salaki, my fault. Another thing, the elder Ariala, he made a statement. He said that these other camps are not showing forth duplication. Meaning what? The apostles is working, and all the men under them is working. They're throwing forth the same diligence. They're out there making videos constantly, which brothers should be making videos constantly. Okay, they're out there pushing videos out. All right, doing lessons, getting into words, studying. But even though we're still of the same mindset, we're still of the same mind, right? If a brother dealing with a particular precept, we're all gonna have the same answer. Okay, when it comes to Revelation 13, we got the same answer, we got the same mindset, and we can teach men just like all of us can teach someone newly coming into the faith and edify them and build them up. These other camps, they can't say that. That's why when you go to their comment board is no scriptures. Because the people that's watching them, the mass majority, they don't know anything about the scriptures. That's why their camp leader could pull out a precept like much study does make thee mad. bugged out. And they have nothing to say. No one, oh, yo, that's deep. Not knowing that was a scoffer and that was not a wise saying at all. Like I said, he could have put out rap lyrics. He could have put out, you know what I'm saying? One of them Whitney Houston lyrics. And these people be like, yo, they would have put the hand on the mouth. Oh, yo. Lord, the Spirit is, he had a triple portion of the Spirit. Right? Whatever, man.
2 Timothy 2:1. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahushai, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also.
Ooh, that's perfect. That be able to teach others also. Faithful men that are able to teach others also. We're supposed to have the spirit of duplication, man. We're supposed to be building teachers. 144,000 leaders, man. Getting built up, man. But in order for us to be leaders, we have to be followers first.
Yeah.
We have to learn. We have to come up under leaders that are already established, and then we gotta grow up to be leaders ourselves, man. And leaders take initiative. Everything shouldn't be spoon-fed to you, man. Sometimes you just gotta take initiative, man. Well, that's the sign of a leader, man. Okay.
Matthew 13:23. But he that receiveth seed unto good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100, some 60, some 30.
All right. Right, and the fruit is the seed is within the fruit, right? So it's supposed to be bringing out fruit like itself. You're not supposed to have a peach and then the peach you put it in, it's an avocado tree. No. Go ahead. Listen on that. It's like it. You have something?
Yeah, this is Hebrews 5, and I'm gonna start at verse 12. It says, for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High.
That's the first principles, man. It's to get a teacher, man. Okay? Go ahead.
And are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
Yeah. And some of these guys, they're not even finished. They've been in the truth for 7, 8 years, and they still haven't finished digesting the milk. They can't even consume the milk because they're not under the right teachers. That's why they never get up to the next step because they don't have the right teachers. And if you can't understand carnal things, how are we going to break down spiritual things? Right? You can't get past simple things of the law in Deuteronomy 22. How could we go into something spiritually deep with you, man? We still need to be teaching you that Yahushua is a so-called black man. You need to stay there. Can't go much further with these guys.
Quick precept?
Go ahead.
This is 1 Corinthians 3 and verse 1. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual,
Right.
but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Hamashiach.
Yeah, but let's say you have a child with a woman, right? And then you go to jail, and then you come back out 7 years, he's still a baby. What the fuck is happening, man? You know what I'm saying? Clearly you got a disease, man. So either that or you just killed my child and then brought the next man's seed in the house, man. You're gonna have questions, man. You're not gonna come in, what's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that? What happened? The baby, and he's still sucking on it. I said, wait a minute, I was in the jail for 7 years. What's going on? Hey, he grew up, but he's still sucking on the titty after 7 years. Like, why are you making my kid, what is he, retarded? What's going on? Right? So a lot of you guys is underdeveloped, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If I may real quick, because really, you're supposed to grow in this truth,
Yeah,
man.
precept.
You know, scriptures say, he that believeth on me, as the scriptures are said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, man.
Right.
So it's supposed to be constant, you growing, and then eventually, you know, stop with the milk and then go to the harder foods, man, to the meats, you know, to the food that's more solid, man. But if you stay stagnant in the same place, man, hey, the Lord's gonna spew you out of his mouth, man, because you're unprofitable, you know.
Right.
That parable it says, why does this tree cumber the ground? Something like that.
Yeah.
You know, where it's taking place.
Yeah.
The Lord still, if you have mercy, the Lord's still gonna work with you. But if you're not bringing forth effort, then ultimately you're gonna be cut down.
Because really you're taking up space, man. You know, there's another guy, you know, waiting in the line, you know. He's more fervent about it, but you know, you're not growing in the truth, man. You know, the Lord's gonna take your talent and give it to another brother. You know, this is verse 2, First Corinthians 3 and verse 2. It says, "I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able."
That's it. That's exactly it. And then it also reminds me of the parable where it says that plant them as a tree by the rivers. Right? A tree planted by the river, that's gonna grow exponentially tall, man. Okay, because it's constantly getting nourished by water. You see? But you guys are like trees in the desert, man. You know? That never grow to fullness, man. What you got, bro?
This is Psalms 2, Psalms 1 in verse 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night.
Were you read?
Yeah, I finished.
Okay, so I can go ahead. So I can read that again, bro.
Psalms 1 and verse 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water,
Right.
that bringeth forth his fruit in his season, and his leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
That's it. That's it. Okay, and them trees by the river, they grow very tall and very strong. Their roots go very deep because they're constantly getting nourished. Okay? You got something?
Yes. Revelation 1 and 3. Bless ye that read it, and they that hear the word of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
That's it. Blessed is he that readeth, man. Okay, blessed is he that readeth. And you got to keep everything that's in this book. You know? Go ahead. What you got, Zakar?
Real quick, this is a Sirach, chapter 24 and verse 30. And speaking of wisdom, it says, "I also came out as a brook from a river, and as a conduit into a garden. I said, I will water my best garden, and will water abundantly my garden bed. And lo, my brook became a river, and my river became a sea."
Ooh.
Expanding.
They didn't say the river became a puddle. Hold on. So some of you,
Puddle with rainbow.
yeah, puddle with rainbow.
Polluted.
Yeah, a polluted puddle. And a polluted puddle, man, with a rainbow color in it. That's it. No. Okay. You have something else?
It says, verse 32, "I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off, prophecy, and leave it to all ages forever.
That's right.
Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom."
Yeah. The elect is the ones that were seeking wisdom, and they obtained it and they held fast to it. You see what I'm saying? And they didn't their attention wasn't turned away from it, you know, to go seek their own thing, right? They stuck with their first love. You know, some of these guys, they got wisdom, and then they got blinded by other things. They let go of the wisdom, or they kind of just treat wisdom like a side bitch. Okay, and then they don't really flourish in the knowledge, man. You see what I'm saying?
So like, just add the book of Revelation, the first, the second, and third chapter, the Lord is going against, speaking to these churches. Say, yes, you're doing this, but you're lacking in that. Now, the brothers of GMS starting with the apostles, we come in that same spirit. So, they get mad. We know who they were speaking of. Okay, they were speaking of,
Yeah, of course.
GMS.
Of course.
Why? Because we're rebuking them where they're at fault, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. And one of the things the Lord said in the book of Revelation, He says that I know, verse, this is Revelation 2:2. It says, I know thy works and thy labor and thy patience, and thou canst not bear them which are evil, and thou hast tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and hast found them liars.
Yeah. And the Lord loves that. He likes that. That's what He was giving them a compliment.
Right.
He didn't say, I'm going to destroy you for that. Go ahead.
And has borne and has patience, and for my name's sake has labored and has not fainted. It says, verse 4, nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love.
Right. So yeah, you might be doing that, but you got to continue doing that. You got to stay in you have to stay in, you got to stay in the wisdom. What you got to say, bro? Go ahead.
Proverbs 4:5. Get wisdom, get understanding. Forget it not. Neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou doest embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory. She shall deliver to thee.
See, they're not trying to be promoted by wisdom. They're trying to just promote themselves through fame and the oohs and the ahs. They're trying to promote themselves. But we're trying to be promoted through wisdom, through Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Yes,
You're saying, we have works. Okay, but you have this and that, but what about the first love?
Bro, what work? He just kept saying work. What work? Work of witchcraft? What work you talking about, man? We don't know what work he's talking about yet. See, it doesn't make sense. It's just psychobabble, man. It's a whole bunch of word salad, man. Doesn't mean anything. Because we understand one thing. Work. What work? What does this mean? What is it? But you see, he wants to be a Farrakhan. He wants to be a Farrakhan type of guy. To rouse up the spirit.
Yes.
But he's not really saying anything. Because Farrakhan will say, he'll get all eloquent. And then he'll pull out the Quran. Then he'll pull out the Bible. And then he'll read the Bible. And he'll say we're Esau. But then we'll curse him out. He got cursed out for that. And then he said, okay, no, we're Jacob. But what are we? Are we Esau or Jacob? You see? But no one is going to pinpoint that and critique him because he sounds so good. That's what these guys do. This is the work. We understand one thing. Work. I didn't understand it. I don't know if whoever understands it, please explain that to me, bro, because it doesn't make any sense.
You got a precept, bro?
Go ahead, bro.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2. It's like in 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 12. Now if any man build upon this foundation, gold, silver, precious stones, wood and hay, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest. For the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is.
Hold on. Yeah, but that's it. Go ahead, break it down.
Alright, so ultimately, what you bring forth, the Lord is going to test it at the last day. Okay? You're saying work, and your work is going to be made manifest by the fire. Okay? Gold is going to endure the fire. Silver, precious stone will endure the fire, but it's the hay's not going to endure. The stubble's not going to endure. So when you say you're working, you got to make sure your work is acceptable to Yahweh.
That's it. There's a right way to work, and there's a wrong way to work. Right? We're trying to show you the right way, and you're bucking up against the right way. And you just say, I'm just going to work. If you're building a house, and then you say, okay, we're not going to start with the foundation. We're going to start with the roof. Right? Well, we working, brother. We working. Yeah, you're working, bro, but this is not going to work. No. It's work. Okay? You come back, and there's nothing there because they're not working correctly. Go ahead.
So even when you're training, you gotta know how to train. You can't just work the same body part every day. You gotta know.
Sometimes I get that demon out of me, brother. I fucking trust again. leg injury, you know? So sometimes they'll be like, man, listen, man. All that leg shit right now, man. When we do biceps, are good. So like here, brother, go ahead.
You gotta balance it out. You know, one day you're working your arms, the next day your chest, next day your legs. You know?
That's right.
You know?
You look like Popeye and shit,
Yeah.
Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
No leg. Oh, man, the top was on point, though. Chest, shoulders, everything. But anyways, man.
So like I mean, too, you know, these guys are not building with the proper materials, man. You know, scriptures speak about building with untempered mortar.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what I just told him to get.
And this is Ezekiel 13 and 11.
Bring it out.
Say unto them, which dab it with untempered mortar, that it shall fall. And there shall be an overflowing shower, and ye, O great hailstones, shall fall, and the stormy wind shall rend it.
Right, because you're not building correctly, so it's going to end up falling. So we try to tell you to warn you, no, don't do that. Now, don't tell me what to do. I'm working. Okay, well, you guys keep doing that, man. You guys are going to find out in the end that Yahweh Shemel Shai is real and that he wants things to be done in a particular way. A lot of these guys like they're atheists or something. Or they think Yahweh Shemel Shai is slack. He's not slack. He's not just sitting back and do what you want. I'm with everything. I'm with all things. As long as you got the fringes on. No, the Lord that's not how the Lord works. Don't you understand that the wicked scribes and Pharisees had fringes on, man?
Yeah.
Don't you understand that? The people who put Jeremiah in the pit, they had fringes on, man. These people, they all had fringes. Caiaphas had fringes, man. That does not make you righteous.
Yeah.
What, bro?
It's just like when you get a job in the world, man. You know, your boss tells you to do a job a particular way, you're gonna do it the way that he asks, man. You know, how much more with the Heavenly Father, man? You know, he gave you the guidelines, which is the scriptures, how to do it. And then you going, oh, no, it's this way. You know, I got to do it this way. You know? What do you think the Lord's going to do to you, man?
That's right. More on that?
There's one more verse. It says, verse 12, lo, when the wall is fallen, shall it not be said unto you, where is the dabbing wherewith you have dabbed?
Yeah. Yeah. Right? Right. And how come you, yeah, right. Because you guys are dabbing it with all kind of madness. All kind of madness. You got a guy next to you who's teaching that the MOTB is sin. And then you're there and he's teaching somebody and you just watching. And then you whisper to the guy, oh, he's wrong on that. Yeah, he's off on that. He's off on that still. But you're not saying nothing, you don't want to think, but then you let that guy leave, that sheep leave in darkness. What sense does that mean? That means you don't care about the sheep.
That's right.
That means you have no care for the sheep whatsoever. You're letting that, oh, I'm just going to let him go into destruction because you know what, I don't want to, it's my printer. Right? It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense, bro.
These guys, you know, they're not teaching the proper doctrine too, man. You know, these guys speaking about unifying all Israel, man. You know, the Lord, what the Lord sent us out to do, that's not it, man. We're not here to unify the whole Israel, man.
That's it.
You know, the Lord only wants an elect.
Got certain brothers talking about Shalom Israel. Shalom Israel. Right? Got the fist out, Shalom Israel.
Two fists.
No, you know, some beautiful brothers, you know, but they're going off. They're going off, man. We ain't dealing with all Israel. We dealing with the elect, man. We dealing with the elect, okay? You see what I'm saying?
Apostle Paul said he endured all things for the elect's sake.
That's right.
And it's the same thing here with the prophets in this day and age, man.
Well, what does Romans 9 say? It says not all Israel are of Israel, man. Everyone is not of Israel. It's just the same way as the seed, just because they come from Abraham's seed does not make them all children. Okay? Because the seed went through Isaac and Jacob the same way the elect is that chosen seed amongst the nation of Israel.
Yeah. So like if I may add real quick, even Yahweh Shai was calling our people the son of the devil. You know, you're not of your father the devil.
Facts.
So how are we here to unify all Israel, man? You know, even in Revelation 2, where it speaks about they're the synagogue of Satan, that's talking about our people, man.
That's right.
You know, even though at times we use it for the big nose people, but that's really speaking about our people, man.
It's a fact.
Because there's this wicked people amongst us, man. There's rebels, man.
It's a fact.
You know?
Perfect point. Perfect point. And they had fringes on the ones that, you know, Shai was talking.
John 17:9, I pray for them, I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine.
Yeah, that's it. And you got some of these guys, they're really shutting up certain of the elect from coming in. They don't accept people. You say you come from Africa, or you say you come from the Philippines or whatever, automatically, right? Or you might look like an Edomite. Automatically, they say you cannot make it. What's that? That's shutting up the kingdom of heaven to potential elect members.
Matthew 23:13, but woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in.
No, we're supposed to unify with them, right? Because of work. Because we're not myopic. Because of work. We're supposed to work. We are supposed to unify with the wicked scribes and Pharisees. Read that again, brother. Okay. We're supposed to unify with these guys, right? Because they got fringes on. They keep the laws. The laws, statutes, and commandments. Like how IUIC says it all theatrical. The laws, statutes, and commandments. But then what's the first law? Have no other God before me. Who are they calling on? Jesus. Who's the king? Well, we're going to say Yahweh Shai. They're going to say Christ. That's another God, man. Real quick.
Matthew 12:30, he that is not with me is against me. He that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. Back to Matthew 23:13. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in.
That's it. You're not going in because of the madness you're teaching, but then you're not suffering other people to go in either. Okay, stopping these people because you're deceiving them. Okay, but also my point is dealing with the fact that you got Israelites amongst all. The scripture says he's going to sift Israel from amongst all nations.
Right.
So you cannot deny that fact, and you can't tell me were they all segregated. Wherever they went, they were just segregated, right? No, they want a black woman, only a black woman. You got this fine Asian woman rubbing upon you. No, black woman, no. Well, search land and sea, right? If I gotta go to the mainland of China, I gotta go rub to the bush. I'm gonna get me a black woman. I'm only gonna be with her. That's not how life operates, bro. Jake was dealing with all the scriptures say the sons of men saw the daughters of men and saw that they were fair, man, and they are fair. So Jake, guess what? Jake loves heathen women. It's a fact. Jake is gonna deal with, and not just he loves Jake women and heathen, but he'll trust me. He's dealing with them heathen women, bro. All of them, bro. All of them are getting it. Got seed from Jake. All right. And guess what? You got Jakes running around looking like these other nations, talking like these other nations, acting like these other nations, with their mannerisms. Yeah. Right? When you, especially the women, because the thing is, a woman follows after her mother. You know. So when you got a woman, even if she's a Judite woman, if her mother's an Ammonite, she'll be feminine, she'll be soft because she's following after her mother. But now the other way around, you'll have an Ammonite, an actual heathen, and I've seen this recently on one of them shows. That there was this woman, I believe her mother was her father was like a Moabite, but she could have straight up been a Moabite. But she acted like the most grimy nigga bitch you could ever see in Slovakia. Cut off the most grimy hood Sharkeisha. Remember they had the meme with the Pokemon ball. Oh God, I choose you. That was hilarious. Okay, but yeah, she act like Sharkeisha, man. They couldn't tame her in the thing. Nah, I'm gonna do this and that. And she was moving her neck, and I was like, God damn, bro. And you're like, why you acting like this? You know, but it's because her Migs is an end up, and she's falling after the end up. You see, if it was the other way around, you're better off. If you're better off dealing with someone whose mother is a heathen and father's a chick.
Okay.
You're better off doing that than dealing the other way around because she's going to be following after her mother.
Sure.
But my point is this: that you got the heathen that follow after that. That you have Jake that's amongst the heathen that act like the heathen, so you could never tell. Okay, but when you get into the spirit, when you're a spiritual man, it says the spiritual man judges all things, man, and we could judge these different things in the spirit, man. Go ahead.
No, you got it. Ezekiel 16:44.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about the Hamite Tupac. That thing. No, he probably had this. When he did like a particular blink, that was a Hamite thing. You know, and then the goofy walk when he's trying to be, you know, like a cartoon, character, the feet, the big shoes. You know, it's a Hamite, brother. It's not, you know, it doesn't, you can tell it's not right. And then when he did,
was on point though.
Okay, stop. Listen, brother, they said lie not one to another, brother. You can't be saying those type of things, brother. Nothing was on point. Especially the gun, you're like, oh. Back. Yeah, I do the Hamite, bro. That might be Canaan in the spirit. Go ahead. Go ahead, what you got?
Ezekiel 16:44, behold, everyone that uses proverbs shall use this proverb against them.
Right.
Saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter.
Get it from a mama, and Jake say that. And that's a fact. If you see the woman's mother as a demon and a complete slur, what do you think? What do you honestly expect from her? Now I'm a transformer. No. You're not going to transform a damn thing. She's through. Guaranteed. See, if her mother's decent and she grew up traditional, well, that's why them Latin tribe women be all right, because they see their mothers, and their mothers will curse them out too.
Yeah.
I've seen the video where the woman was trying to tell her husband come and sweep in the kitchen or something. And her mother looked at her like, bitch, what? No, that's woman particular. Go sit down and relax. And then you seen the lad pops. He didn't know what was going on, but you just see them. He came back. He was just chilling on the couch like this. He's like, what's going on in the kitchen, you know? But he's just relaxed, chilling, because he knows how it goes, man. So that's why they even though they act like, because they come to here and they get polluted by the West, but they still have in the back, they still have a part of that in there. What you got, bro?
Yeah, Rampage Jackson saying how, he had a wife, she used to, be obedient, and all of a sudden, his mom came in the picture.
Right.
His mom came in the picture and, started, trying to deter her from her,
I would have got mad, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I would have been real irate, bro. I wouldn't have went with me, bro. Sure. I would have been so mad, bro. Even if she just telling her shit like, yo, why you trying to ruin my yo? First of all, I would have to get her a hotel, man. I said, nah, you go chill in a hotel, man. I'll pay for it. Don't worry about it, man. Because that's ridiculous.
Mr. Curtis says she shall be evil towards the children.
Man, he said as soon as his mom left, she started moving with her head, disrespecting him. I said, God damn. But that's the pollution. It's a cultural pollution.
It's a cultural pollution.
It's a cultural pollution. It's like it is a passed down mindset that and they promote that, and they don't glorify anything righteous. They glorify everything wicked. They're not gonna glorify a woman serving a husband. How you a servant? You this and that. What does the word woman mean? Okay, but what was Eve? She was a helpmeet, wasn't she? Well, that's what being a woman. See, they don't understand what being a woman is all about. Yeah. So they're like, that's what you got. But then a woman showing attitude and moving her neck and slapping her husband for cheating. You go, girl. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what is that? That's fucking wickedness, man, that they're promoting.
Really, they're jealous, man. Yeah, that's really what it goes back to. They're jealous, because whoever they're slandering or telling them to do this way, even though they're in order, they're actually doing the wrong. Because them themselves they weren't doing that, man. So when they look at it, that's kind of like a mirror, you could say, showing you the bad traits of yourself. So that's why they say, oh no, you're supposed to be doing this, girl. Don't listen to him, because really deep down they're jealous. Because they know within, how they're built, they're supposed to be servants, man. To the men.
Yep. Which that's the scripture where it says that how the righteous, the way you look at the wicked is like how a wicked woman looks at a righteous woman. You see what I'm saying? Because it's with jealousy,
Right.
and they want to pollute her like as they're polluted. The old saying goes, "Misery loves company."
Yeah.
And it show you that's how these women, they don't really have real friends.
Yeah.
All their friends are the same. Like they try to drag them into bullshit because they see and then they low key get jealous of them. And I've seen this. I've seen certain chicks who were supposed to link me up with their friends, but then they kind of got jealous. It's like, I don't think she's good for you. Well, she ain't. What's wrong with her? Well, she ain't good for me now. Right? Because she wants, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like this is how they move. But then they're supposed to be friends.
Yeah.
First of all, the word friend means brother, man. That's where you get the word fraternity. Matter of fact, we don't even have to look it up, man. Friend means brother. Well, let's leave it at that. Okay? You go to the etymology. What you got?
Deuteronomy 28 and 56.
Because we gotta fly out, so we're gonna close up early. We gotta fly out. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28 and 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which will not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom, and towards her son,
Let's go right here.
and towards her son, and towards her daughter. Deuteronomy 28 and 56. The tender and delicate woman among
It goes
you.
into the curses that fell upon our people. It's a curse that fell upon you. There's a reason why she's behaving the way she's behaving. Okay? It says the tender. It says she shall be evil towards her husband, toward her son. Go on.
The tender and delicate woman, a woman among you, which will not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards her husband toward the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter.
And that's why she's ready to put her men into you call it child support, man. They plan that. A lot of these women, they throw away their babies, man. That's why Brenda's got a baby came out. That's a common thing in Israel, man.
Yeah. And she notice he didn't curse out Brenda. He didn't curse her out. He was just saying the plight that she had. Right? Oh, poor Brenda. Right? And then they don't go to jail. Like when it comes to maybe something like that, throwing them in the dumpster, they would go to jail for something or something like that. Something would happen. But they have the option to just drop it off at a church building. They have that option to just put it up for adoption. Right? So they can just do all that wickedness without any consequences, man. This is why they feel unstoppable. But guess what? The Lord is stopping the teats, man.
Right.
And I hope this year the teats stop. Come to a complete halt for you hopes, man.
Right, man.
And I'll be looking at you with the dead in your eyes, man. I'll be looking at you through dead in your eyes. Okay?
Yeah, the Lord wanted us to see the wickedness of these women.
Oh, man. It's true.
So we don't feel bad for them. But we're not gonna feel bad for them.
It's true. It's true. But you see, the men of the Lord, we had the foresight, especially, but no, brother, whoever was in this before. But you see, a lot of brothers just came in with with all these red pill thing was popping, right? After like Kevin Samuels and shit. But see, brothers that was in this before, we had the foresight. We saw the wickedness of these women before. Watching elders and apostles, they were exposing them before this whole red pill thing was going. You still thought women were innocent creatures. But you see, there's this thing, some brothers had that under. See, me in the world, I already knew women were wicked. I already knew that. I already had that mindset that they were wicked. I seen it. Okay? And I already had that mind. I was not in that simp mindset. I was always, my brothers before, my brethren before, all that shit. Those ain't right. And they ain't loyal. Okay? So, ultimately, that was that, but now we're in the time of the red pill era where they're being exposed, where everything is out in Front Street. And men are constantly they're diligent too.
Yeah.
Making video, every notification is yo.
MTR.
This woman does this, MTR, these different guys. A whole bunch of guys. There's a new guy every week. And a podcast. Everyone has a podcast. She said she don't need no man. And they owe you the thumbnail. You know, right? So, right, the thumbnail you see the woman looking in this, whatever. But this is what it is, and now they're being exposed because just like Esau has to be exposed and called out before the judgment. And they can't say they didn't know because it's been out in the front street. Right? Even besides the prophets, all them rebels, they're getting on them heavy, man. So what? Now everything, and a lot of these men don't care for these women no more. A lot of these men don't care for a lot of these men have a cold spirit toward these women now. Very, very cold, bro. Very, very cold. Have you seen one of the gym, the girls in the gym, you couldn't get no help? A lot of the videos they're doing it, and the Lord is putting this reprobate spirit on them, right? To do stupid shit, to further put themselves in a ditch. So now that no one's helping her because now these bitches got the camera, and a dude might come and she might be, she'll be in the spandex and the booty. You see the crack of her booty, and then you see the camel toe, big folding of the camel toe in the pants. And if a dude looks, he's a wicked predator.
Okay.
Right? So the dude just might be there, he'd be walking, he might glance. Did you see that? She'll pause it. You see that? He's a wicked freak. Right?
Okay.
Right? You see that? This is why I hate coming to the gym. Right? These men are monsters, right? So now these dudes, man, they got a fucking hatred for these fools. Now they actually hate. See, back in the day, they wouldn't do it going around. They hate. Oh, if you would have said something, though, we would be hitting up dudes and you give her one little slap. That's a female. The dudes that pop out the bushes. That's a female.
Yeah.
I said, femme, yo. Femme, pas les femmes ici, bro. Right? That's the spirit dudes used to be. Now dudes are like, well, she's equal rights, equal lefts. Yeah.
Domestics.
Right? Now Jake is saying that equal rights, equal lefts. Right? Okay, so that's a new saying now. So they don't have a spirit to help you, bitch. They don't have a spirit to care. They looking at you and they're seeing how much of a slut you are. The internet is showing how much of a slut you are, how much you're not loyal, how much you don't really deserve any protection, man. Right? How proud you are, the arrogancy. The internet is showing all of this. It's all on Front Street. Okay? You see? And then I remember in the 90s, all they were doing was getting on the so-called black man. I used to BT, this is my channel, this is what I grew up on, BT and these different channels. And all they would get on is, oh, the men need to do better, and they're leaving the family, they need to do better. Oh, you drinks need to do better. Oh man, the black man, and then you got black men up there saying the same shit. And the woman was just like just a victim.
Yeah.
It's like she didn't do nothing wrong.
It's true.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Oh, you black man, you need to step it up. And Jake is looking at it, and it'd be Jake saying it too. But now we're in an era where they're getting called out. We're seeing how they're reacting to it, and you can see they don't take no accountability. Give me that wicked adulterous woman wiping her mouth.
Yep. Yep.
Bring that up, bro.
Sirach 26 and Proverbs 30 and 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth. She said, I have done no wickedness.
And this is when we can see that on Front Street, that all these women are flipping wicked as hell, man. And the mass majority of them, when I say mass, I'm talking about the mass. When I say mass majority, I mean mass majority, man. Very, very few that even have the mindset of any type of accountability. Okay? Go ahead.
Just pertaining as Isaiah 4 and 1 says, I'll just read it. Isaiah 4 and 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. So in that time, they're gonna acknowledge that they've been doing wickedness. As in right now, they're not accountable for the wickedness that they're doing, but in the times to come, they're gonna acknowledge that they were wicked.
Sure. And that people shall be willing.
Which they know it, but they just don't want to admit it. You know, they know it, they just don't want to admit it. And that time is going to be a lot of reproach, but look at the word reproach real quick. There's going to be a lot of that because there's dudes who are seeing this shit and they're going to feel the same way we feel in that time. Now the woman, oh, wait a minute. You know, this woman, Susan Beckford, oh shit, wait a minute. You dissed me. You said I was a chump. You said, you know, I texted you. You never texted me back. You left me on red, and I looked at your Instagram. And you were kissed up on another dude. Wait a minute. But now why you calling me? Oh, I just need some bread, man. Or I need protection. And please, guys, stay with you. There's gangs of guys out there kicking in doors. Can I come with you? Right. So now he's looking like, I mean, you could come. Right, and then right, and then she comes and he does what he wants, man. He exacts Deuteronomy 22nd chapter without the shekels. Minus the shekels, right? Right, a 5-finger discount. Okay, and then he kicks her out the fucking crib into the wilderness, man. Get out of here, bitch, before I cook you, man. Or you might just cook her, man. Listen, we're into an evil time, bro. You're right. Now she see the pot boil. Oh, what are we eating today? Right? What are we eating today? You know, throw some paprika in the bitch's eyes.
Something.
Some paprika, get the onion powder. Tap it on her forehead. And she's like, what's going on? Yo, it's about to get gruesome, man. They don't get it, man. And he's not gonna feel no way about it because she was a proud HOE in the world.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Reproach, transliteration is herpa. It says
But you know what it's like? It's like, you know, you gotta before you rub the chicken and stuff, you gotta put the oil in the oil, right?
Gotta tenderize it.
I like it, man. Wait for a yabaraka, you know? You know what I mean? Oh, go ahead, man.
So the word reproach, it's herpa, and it means reproach, shame, rebuke, reproachfully, continually disgrace, rebuke, reproach, shame. And reproach, scorn, taunt, scorn, reproach, shame, basically disgrace.
Yeah, disgrace, man. You're gonna be disgraced in that day, man. It's gonna be a real hard time, man. You know. Go ahead.
Micah 7 and verse 10. And then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets.
That's it. Right? They're about to be tried. Where our eyes are going to behold them, man. And that's the enemy. That is clearly the enemy. Okay? You got the endo out there talking about they're going to delete any male Jake's children. So that's clearly the enemy. That's worse. That's the same as the KKK. So when we deal with them, man, make sure the door's closed. So when that time comes, man, it's gonna be a beautiful thing. Okay, can't close. Push it hard.
There was another video I've seen. Brother posted it, and there was a guy. I think they were doing a podcast. You know, and this guy went in on the so-called black woman. He's like, yo, you guys are the biggest enemies. You guys done worse than the so-called black man to the so-called black man.
So-called white man.
Yeah, you know, the so-called white man to the so-called black man. You know, you guys are worse enemies than the oppressors themselves. You know.
That's right.
In the fact of keeping us on keeping the Israelite man on a low level, you know. And then the main, in a sense, weapon that the Edomites have been using to keep us down, you know, to separate the family, you know, to keep us in a low state.
And it's funny, man. You saw the end of his face. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah, they didn't care.
They didn't give a shit. He went all deep and he poured out his heart. They didn't care. They were scoffing at it. So when the Lord deals with them, it's going to be a beautiful, sweet taste. You know, like dates. You know the dates a car gets. Yeah, the one that's a car gets his dates because he gets different dates.
Yeah.
All right. Then it's gonna be them sweet. It's gonna be sweet, like nectar, man. Okay. Because he did it. He was going in. He was pouring out his heart, and you feel the spirit. They're sitting there, and then he said certain shit, and she said, "You know, her face squirms up." What? Yo. And that was Antoine. He's a demon his damn self. But yeah, hey man, we can't wait, man. Brothers have any other precepts? We can get the last precept real quick. Go ahead.
Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, O ye careless daughters.
Yeah, go ahead.
Careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, and ye careless woman, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease.
Yeah, all the plans that you got, that's about to come to an end, man.
That's right.
Esau's about to put a whole stop to this. He's about to press the button, man.
That's right.
All these different things, all these different calamities is getting ready to hit, man. All right, you think it's bad now. You think it's hard to pay rent now. You think it's hard to do things now. Wait, you just fucking wait. You just wait, man. Go ahead.
Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird up sackcloth upon your loins, that ye they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant field, and for the fruitful vine.
Now the teats goes into the nipples, man. Okay, what's nourishing these people? What's nourishing these women? The government, man.
Benefits.
Without the government, so I'm single, independent. None of you are hoes are independent. Not one of you. All of you are sucking off the government.
That's right.
Every last one of you. You got a child getting child support and welfare. How the fuck are you independent? Independent means you good on your own. You don't need nobody. You build your own house. You do what you gotta do. That's independent. Okay? You motherfuckers, you are sucking off the government more than anybody, man. Because that's their husband. You wanna know who's their husband? Their husband is the government. The serpent, the beast. Go ahead, man.
And just to add on, they're the main ones because there's more women than men, and they account for a large number of the Israelites, and they're the ones that go down into Egypt to add sin onto sin, you know, because they put their trust in oppression, you know.
Well, yeah, for sure. Well, the thing about woman is of the world. Of the world, you know what I'm saying? Scripture speaks about women being saved through childbearing. You know, it's not really a big thing. It's like not so much sisters that's so into the ministry like that. It's really just, you know, I mean, in terms of helping out like that. It's really a lot of there's women that's dealing with brothers. Just happen to have that got mercy dealing with brothers, man. You know.
So to tell you that real quick, you always bring up that word feminine, you know, which goes back into minus faith. You know, the women, they don't really have faith like that, man. Because when you go into the definition of faith, it means what? The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Them, they want to see in order to believe, and that's why they solely, you know, they believe in Esau's system, man, because it's working for them, you know.
And there's very few sisters. They don't be fooled by every sister on the contract. They put their hearts in there. There's very few sisters that's sincere about this thing. Very, very few. You know, because then, the elder apostle, who is it? I'm not sure if it's the elder apostle Ramlab, or maybe it was the elder Manata Zatma, one of them. They said there was a particular woman that brother saw on the comment board that was on the Wi-Fi comment board that would be on our comment board, and she was, oh, great lesson! I didn't know people were teaching this wickedness, right? Wow. And then she came back to our comment board and said, oh, I didn't know you were against it. So that's a demon.
Yeah, it's a demon, bro.
Okay, that's a demon. So what the brother said, the brother says, don't email me no more. She was emailing the elder or whatever. She said, don't email me no more. She's like, I didn't know. He said, don't email me no more. She said, fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah. I remember
is that a righteous daughter of Sarah? No, that's Beelzebub, man. And what happened? Beelzebub came out, man. It was just hiding. You know, Beelzebub was hiding. And then he started shaking, you know, coming out. Fuck you, you know, then it came out. You gotta watch out with these women, man. You gotta watch out, man.
actors sincere.
You just better just get down with the winning stock before it rises. That's just the best advice I can get with the winning stock before it rises. And pray to Yahweh Shemel Shai. Huh?
It's not gonna be cheap later.
Oh, it is later, bro. It'll be all kind of things happen. All kind of criteria, man. Okay? But anyway, we're gonna get the last scriptures, man. Anybody have a last precept? Go ahead, man.
This is Job 5 in verse, I'm start 22. It says, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth.
Yeah, we're gonna be stable in the mind, you know. Brothers gonna be stable. Gonna be stable. Go ahead, what you got, bro?
I'm not afraid.
Okay. Oh, you got something? Okay, you got something? You got something, Shaquan?
Come on.
Bring it up.
Isaiah 32:2, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land.
Yeah, because just for them to sleep at night, they would rather sleep at night knowing they have a man next to them. You know? You see what I'm saying? You know? They can't sleep in there. Hearing screaming outside, they want to know they got a man that's there next to them. You know when it's time to sleep, she's gonna be all close to you. You know, close. One leg might be over you. Right?
Where are you going?
Yeah. You go use the bathroom. Yeah, because they want to make sure that you're around, man. Because that's that protection. That's that protection in that time, especially in matter of the Lord, because they're gonna see the way you're moving and see nothing's touching you. They're like, yo, what's going on? I need to be around him.
That's that book of Eli.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Let's read that last scripture.
Isaiah 13:11. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
That's it. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. Give all praise, glory, and honor to you.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Machakodash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation, much love and respect to you, Aki, and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.
In the pot.
Oh,